Chioma adjusted the scarf around her head as she wiped the sweat off her brow. The morning sun cast a golden glow over the house, but inside, the chores felt never ending. With a deep sigh, she glanced at the dirty dishes in the sink, the laundry basket overflowing, and the floors begging for a mop. It was too much for her alone. I can't do this anymore, she muttered under her breath. Later that evening, when Emeka returned from work, she approached the subject. Darling, I need help around the house. The chores are becoming overwhelming. Emeka barely looked up from his phone. Then hire someone. You know we can afford it. She hesitated. Are you sure? You don't mind having a maid? He waved dismissively. As long as she does her job well, I have no problem. And that was how Lovett came into their home. Lovett was a slim young woman with quiet eyes and a soft voice. She was respectful, never raising her tone above a whisper and always eager to work. Good morning, Ma, she greeted Choma politely on her first day. Choma smiled. Welcome, Lovett. I hope you'll be comfortable here. Just do your job well, and we won't have any issues. Yes, Ma. At first, everything was perfect. The house was spotless, meals were cooked on time, and Choma finally felt some relief. Lovett barely spoke unless spoken to, and never overstepped her boundaries. But slowly, little things began to unsettle Choma. One evening, as she laid on the couch, she felt a sharp pain in her stomach. She clutched her abdomen and groaned. Are you okay? Emeka asked, rushing to her side. I don't know. My stomach just started hurting suddenly. Concerned, he took her to the hospital, but after running tests, the doctors found nothing wrong. You're perfectly healthy, the doctor said, frowning. Maybe it's stress. Choma wasn't convinced. The pain became more frequent, often coming after she ate, leaving her weak and exhausted. But the most disturbing part, every time she groaned in pain, she would catch Lovett watching her from the corner of the room with an unreadable expression. As the weeks passed, Choma started noticing a change in Emeka's behavior. He was growing fond of Lovett in a way that made her uncomfortable. He praised her cooking, defended her mistakes, and sometimes even chatted with her more than he did with Choma. One evening, Choma walked into the living room to find Emeka laughing at something Lovett had said. Lovett quickly lowered her head, but Emeka looked up, grinning. Lovett has a great sense of humor. You should talk to her more. Choma forced a smile but said nothing. Another morning, she found Lovett standing too close to Emeka in the kitchen. Lovett giggled at something and Emeka chuckled in response. What's going on? Choma asked sharply. Lovett immediately stepped back, eyes wide. Nothing, ma. I was just asking Oga if he wanted extra sugar in his tea. Choma's stomach twisted. I'll handle my husband's tea from now on. Emeka frowned. Choma. She was only helping. Choma didn't respond. Instead, she watched Lovett as she hurried out of the kitchen, a smirk playing at the corners of her lips. The unease in Choma's heart grew stronger each day. She tried to push it aside, to ignore the small signs, but the feeling wouldn't leave. Why was she always sick? Why did Emeka defend Lovett so much? Was she imagining things, or was something truly wrong? One afternoon, she found herself too weak to get out of bed. Lovett brought her food and smiled kindly. Eat, ma, you need strength. Choma took the plate with trembling hands, but as Lovett walked away, she noticed the strange way the maid's finger lingered on the door frame. A shiver ran down her spine. She had no proof, no evidence, but deep down she knew something was very, very wrong. But then she took a step closer to her grave by taking a bite of the food. The house was quiet, wrapped in the heavy embrace of midnight. Choma stared in bed, her throat parched. She reached for the glass of water on her nightstand, but it was empty. With a tired sigh, she pulled back the covers and slid out of bed. The hallway was dark. The cool tiles sent a shiver up her spine as she made her way to the kitchen. As she neared the doorway, she paused. A soft gargling sound echoed from inside. Curious, she peeked in, and what she saw made her stomach drop. Lover stood over the steaming pot of soup, vomiting violently into it. Her body convulsed as she spat into the bubbling liquid, then stirred it as if nothing had happened. Chelma's breath caught in her throat. Horror gripped her chest like a vice. Was she dreaming? Was this real? She gasped aloud before she could stop herself. Lover froze slowly. She turned around, her eyes gleaming under the dim kitchen light. Her lips curled into a chilling smile. Ah, madam, she said, voice early calm. You're awake. Chelma's hands trembled. What? What are you doing? Lover tilted her head. What does it look like? Chioma mind raised the mysterious sickness, the constant weakness, the unexplained pain. It was all starting to make sense. She staggered back. You've been poisoning me? Lovett chuckled. Low and sinister. Poison? She shook her head. No, madam, this is beyond poisoning. Chioma's knee weakened. Why? Why are you doing this? Lovett took a slow step forward because I was sent. Chioma's blood ran cold. Sent by who? Lovers make someone who doesn't want you to be happy, someone who wants your home destroyed. Chioma shook her head violently. You were lying. Lovett only laughed. Am I? Chioma's breath came in a sharp gasp. The room felt like it was spinning. You need to leave this house. I'm calling the police. Lovers smiled Weaver. Call them. Well, will they believe you? Will your husband believe you? Chama swallowed her. She had no proof, nothing to show that what Lovett had done. And worst of all, Emeka already trusted the maid more than she trusted his own wife. Tears filled her eyes. What did I ever do to deserve this? Lovett's eye darkened. You were simply in the way. Chama's breath hitched. In the way of what? Lover's silence was more terrifying than any answer she could have given. Choma's heart pounded as she gripped the door frame for support. This is spiritual, Choma whispered, realization dawning on her. Lover's smile widened. Now you understand. Choma felt her world shatter around her. Every sickness, every pain, every moment of suffering, Lovett had caused it all. She had been eating from the very hand that sought to destroy her. Tears slipped down her cheeks. God help me. Lovett licked her lips and turned back to the soup. He won't. Choma took a shaky step back, her entire body screaming at her to run. She needed to escape. She needed to fight. But how? As she stumbled back to her room, her mind swirled with fear, anger, and desperation. She then walked outside of the room back to the kitchen, and then she saw Lovett feeding the food she vomited to her husband.